Hi, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show is called Bruce on the Loose. We talk to people in the city government, the school system, and here we're on location at The View, downtown Wadsworth. Brian Dolgowicz is with us, and also Chef Anthony Scolaro. Scolaro, okay, I got it. And I tell you what, this is, a lot of vowels. This is quite the location. And Brian, how has the response been so far with Wadsworth and the surrounding community?
The feedback has been fantastic. Wadsworth has been wanting something like this for many, many years, and 99% of the people are ecstatic about us being here.
Yeah, I bet you it's exciting for you to be on the ground floor, to see something begin and see the enthusiasm people have for it.
Yeah, it's something they haven't experienced yet. And it's new, so it's exciting. It's what we're doing from the front to the back, behind the bar. Everything is meticulously thought out, and we're trying to put out something that are going to make people go wow.
Especially over the Christmas season, the holidays, very festive anyway.
No better time to open the restaurant than November, December. So,
very much so. So we're going to go ahead and see the restaurant in its entirety, and we'll be back in a few seconds with the second segment. We're back with the second segment here at The View, downtown Wadsworth. Brian, what a beautiful bar. What a nice facility for people to come and just relax and enjoy themselves. A little conversation.
Yeah, we make all crafted cocktails here, made by our bartenders, and it seats 13. It's great. You get a full service bar, and we start anything. We have a high bourbon list, Scotch, whiskeys, and appeal to any taste.
Especially, again, we mentioned to the chef about the holiday season. Really a great opportunity to go ahead and celebrate. A lot of activities. You probably have retirements. You probably have anniversaries come in.
Yeah, a lot of date nights, anniversaries. A lot of people celebrating 40, 50 years anniversaries, coming out and eating during the holidays. And really just you can get a bite to eat and a drink right after work if you're working on a square. So
and really a lot of different things that people could not only drink but also the menu. Chef Anthony goes ahead and changes that up, so he doesn't hone in on a couple of things. So that's pretty exciting for people as well.
Yeah, Chef Anthony loves to be creative. And he changes the menu every 10 weeks. We just changed the menu last Thursday, so it's all new, all fresh, seasonality. So it's comfort going into the heart of winter in Northeast Ohio.
No question about it. So we will be back again with another segment with Chef Tony in just a second. Chef Tony, let's talk about some of your experiences. Where have you been in other restaurants before, and how has that helped you in your mature and in your creativity?
Well, I think I've had a lot of different experiences. I think so. That's one thing that I lean on a lot. Different experiences bring different ways to be efficient, different ways that you can look at a problem and solve it, especially in the kitchen. So I started when I was 13 years old. I was did the dishes, did everything from bussing tables, water glasses, coat check.
So you really learned from the ground up.
Yeah, from the ground up, right. So that's that's school of hard knocks, I guess you will. But I did get a formal education, and I think that was helpful to build a foundation for a lot of that. Cooking is a lot of technique, so having that and learning that and having that as the foundation is an easy way to help be creative. So I've done everything from banquets to corporate dining, fine dining. I've done a little bit of everything. So I get to pull from a lot of different experiences when we do this stuff and when we create menus. So it's it's good having that background that I do, and helps us be creative.
How about some of during COVID, we had real problems with restaurants operating and getting the supplies, materials they needed. What experiences did you have with that, and how did you get through it?
Yeah, it was, I don't know. Yeah. Honestly, it was rough. I mean, we came back, but a lot of things didn't at the same time. So, we had to be smart with what we were putting on the menu. So having that experience, knowing what I can use that was readily available, that wasn't, and just being very particular about what we put on the page that we were going to sell, that we knew we were going to be able to get it, that the consistency was going to be there, the quality was going to be there, because then that's part of what we do. So during that time, it was very much a lot of communication between suppliers and myself. Hey, what's available, what's not available. If I put this on the menu, will it be there in 2 weeks or will it go away? So
you had to be real flexible in your approach.
And that's why, I think a lot of what our approach and the way that we do things with the menus, changing it so often is helpful, because if we do get into a situation like that, we're changing our menus frequently enough that we can adapt. So,
what is your thought process like in changing the menu? Let's say you had set of entrees that someone said, oh, they kept saying, this is great. Would you maybe add that to your new offerings?
Usually we just change the menu.
Okay.
The idea is if you like something on that menu, you'll find something you like on the next one.
That's true.
Ideally, right? Every now and then, when we do our seasonal changes, we might bring a dish back that we've done in the past, something that's sold very well that we know people enjoyed, but maybe the time of year isn't right for it. So, heartier winter dishes, probably not going to do in the summer. So maybe this time next year, something that you see on our menu right now, we might have one of those dishes back on. It just depends on what we decide to do. So
how were you nervous about the build up to this? I mean, were there some things that didn't go quite as well as you would have liked with the kitchen and outside and just a lot of things you had to worry about?
From the build out perspective?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's always hiccups. It never goes to plan. You have a date set in mind, then that date changes probably 5 times before, you end up opening. And there's always hiccups and bumps in the road, but, we were very involved with the whole process, pretty much did all the demolition ourselves. We were here monitoring and making sure things were getting done and, making sure the kitchen was set up right. And, we did a lot of the blood, sweat, and tear work that people don't see. We started this process in February. So it was a long time coming to get it.
Oh yeah,
to get it going.
Just about probably 9-10 months, right? Yeah, wow.
So, which is actually pretty quick in the grand scheme of things. So you got to have your stuff. You got to have your stuff together. You got to be ready to roll and know what you're doing and have a solid plan.
I would not think, and of course, a layman, I would not think it would be that long. So that was really a quick turnaround to open up and
to get it built out.
You've only been open for a couple months, I guess, right?
Yeah, we started at the beginning of November. So we're almost 10 weeks in already. So
yeah, for sure.
It goes quick.
All right, let's bring Brian back in for our next segment. We'll be with you in a second. Okay, we're back with Bruce on the Loose at the View, and Brian, what about some of the people on the wait staff? I imagine you work very closely with them, and people have really stepped up. And I got the feeling when I was here that I was welcome, and the people wanted me to have a good time.
Well, it starts at the front door. We want to open the door for every guest that walks in to make you feel welcome, like you're eating in your own dining room. And then, our service staff all have experience, and the bar staff has experience, so we focus on giving as great a service you can get anywhere in any city across America, really. And we're really focused on making sure that you're not waiting and we're anticipating the guest needs. So,
what about reservations? Should people, because you have fairly limited seating here, should people get reservations ahead of time?
Well, we have about 45 seats in the dining room, 48, 13 at the bar. So reservations are always welcome. It reserves your seat. So walk-ins, though, are definitely welcome now as we get past the holidays and we're not jam-packed every day. But reservation, when you have a party of 6 or even 8, 10, we can do up to 10 or 12. But we have 4s, 2s. The more reservations, it just secures your spot on the list.
No question about it. What about the ingredients? We talked a little bit about you getting local ingredients. How important is that when you, again, change that menu we mentioned before, and you have those items that you can go ahead and turn into those 10 or 12 entrees that you're preparing?
Yeah, I mean, some of the menu is driven by what we can get. And, a lot of it is, based on the ingredients, but also the quality. Thomas Keller once said that, I can get a local tomato, but is it the best tomato?
Right.
So those are things that, we think about too. We use local as much as we possibly can, but we also try to focus on quality as much as we can as well. So if there's a gap there, then, we fill that with the best quality that we can. And a lot of the times that helps us, to gauge what we can put on a menu and what makes sense, even from a cost perspective too. So, local sometimes isn't always the cheapest, and there's reasons for that, but those are the things that we try to focus on to make sure that we're always, looking around at, 360 degrees and make sure that, we're considering the most options we can, but keeping it quality at the same time.
So what would your role be? Let's say we had a party of 6 or 8, and then other reservations. You have a pretty good crowd. What would your role be back in the kitchen?
Making sure you get your food.
Well, yeah.
In a timely manner. Yeah, no, that's, trust me, there's days, depending on how the dining room fills up, if it's 5 o'clock and we see 10 tables, everybody's kind of on the same pace at that point. So we already know, because having an open kitchen helps us to kind of navigate that a little bit. I can see what's coming. Brian can help tell us, hey, we got these tables that just sat down, be ready for, a few checks to come back. And, that's part of where that experience comes in, to know how we can set ourselves up to be as efficient and keep every dish consistent that comes out in a timely manner.
So there's constant communication between Brian being out here on the floor and you and someone, that steak wasn't quite done enough. I mean, he'll communicate that, and you'll rectify that and go from there.
We don't want, the idea is we don't want anybody to have a bad time when you're here.
Right.
If there's something that you don't enjoy, or if something's not right, that's what we're here for. We want you to leave happy. So a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to fix things much anymore. So, if you're here and you don't like it, say something. And don't be afraid, because, this is something that we put a lot of effort into, and we want our best foot forward, and we want you to leave with the best experience that you can have.
Does it give you a good feeling when there's some young people that do want to be chefs and do want to do, as you say, have people have a good feeling and leave happy? Does that make you feel like you could be a part of their venture forward?
Yeah, I think it translates to the work as well. I mean, when we're putting out, quality food and people see the reaction, and, you can see it from, the kitchen, and somebody's enjoying their meal, and, you can read lips and say, somebody's like, wow, that tastes great. Or, we get that feedback instantly. People come up to the kitchen all the time and they're like, hey, that was great. And it's good for, the people that are involved in creating that to hear that. It's a little, affirmation of, hey, we're doing cool stuff here. We're doing good things here. And, it's always a nice thing to be able to have that, when you're in the kitchen. So we have a lot of different skill levels. We have, some very seasoned professionals, and then we have some, younger, like you said, younger generations that want to learn. And what better, kitchen to learn in? We're doing a lot of things that you're not going to see, like Brian mentioned, in a lot of other restaurants. So, the techniques that we do, the quality that we use, the dedication to the ingredients, that's what you're going to learn, and you're going to learn something you probably didn't know.
Brian, has there been anything that you would redo? I mean, the physical plant here looks fantastic, and you certainly believe in service. Chef Tony believes in putting an outstanding product out there. Is there something maybe you missed in the planning?
Honestly, I thought it came together pretty organically, as Anthony would always say. We had some hiccups, but it really, the staff, the people, our staff came to us. We were fortunate enough to have all Wadsworth people on the staff besides one, but so local food is local, and team members, and they all came to us. They're excited to work here. So really, the build out was pretty seamless, but it took a little longer, but again was reasonable. So I think we're really happy with the product of the building and the outside of the building, and we're really happy with the way the flow of the kitchen to the dining room and the bar actually is throughout the process.
Sometimes those little things kind of trip you up along the way.
Yeah.
Again, and I really appreciate the communication. Someone says, that was a really very good salmon. I really enjoyed the dish, and the wait staff passed it back, and people you making it saying, it was worth all this time and effort.
But that's the goal. The goal is to have the best experience that you can get. in the city, and we want you to talk about it. You know, that's how we grow, by word of mouth, and our goal is to make sure everybody's happy walking out the door. From the time they walk in to when they get their food to the time they leave. You know, we open the door for you, we open the door when you leave, and we give you the best service that you can get with smiles and comfortability.
What about the internet? How has that helped restaurants to increase their number of people and their customers coming and, again, spreading the word and coming back?
Yeah, well, Facebook is, if I could say Facebook, is the way that we communicate a lot. Yeah, social media. You know, and you know, everybody shares it on their feeds too. So we get a lot of communication out through social media, and we're definitely, you know, we appreciate this opportunity here, and we do paper. So any means to, again, build the following that we want.
What are the hours of the restaurant, and are there days that you're not open?
So we are open Tuesday through Saturday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. The kitchen closes every day, but we will stay open if somebody wants to enjoy a drink or a bourbon neat at 10 o'clock on a Friday or Saturday.
Okay, all right, well that's certainly...
And we're closed Sunday and Monday, sorry, I forgot.
Okay, all right, Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
Chef Tony, any anticipation of did things go as you planned once you got open? Was there any surprises along the way that you did not anticipate?
Oh yeah, there's always surprises, especially back there or behind the bar. Or, I mean, you know, you go through a couple services and you're like, oh crap, I don't have the right spoon, or I don't have the, you know, I gotta buy some more containers, or you know, you just don't know sometimes until you get into it, and sometimes that's better because then, you know, you're only buying what you need, you only have what you need at that point, so you know it's not overdone. So I guess that's probably the best part about sometimes having those things that come at you that you're not, you know, anticipating. So
it sounds like you've gotten experience from all sorts of other places, and again, they all add to your opportunity now working with young people.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice because there's a point in time where you kind of have to trust and maybe let go a little bit, and that's always tough when it's yours, when it's your baby. It's you know, it's hard to, you know, let the reins go sometimes, or let other people, you know, take the reins for you. And sometimes that's one of those things you have to learn as, you know, part of being a chef. And that's some things that they don't teach you in school. It's like, hey, at some point you got to be able to do enough to teach somebody else to do it for you. And I think that's true pretty much in any situation, you know. When your people can grow and be able to do and take over for you to do what you do, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Brian, what about, again, those festivities? Can you tell me a little bit about some of the Christmas get-togethers, and maybe college guys that were in college came back? Is there any one that stands out, or any reunion or graduation or retirement that stands out that you've had? Well,
the biggest celebrations we had were, you know, we had some company celebrations. School celebrated, you know, the school came here on the last day of school and had about 30 teachers here.
Okay,
so that was that was last minute, and we were able to make it happen. And that was just a little good get together to get people celebrating the Christmas time, and also getting them get introduced to the restaurant. So we get a lot of long-time Wadsworth residents that celebrate their anniversaries, and like I said, date nights and birthday parties. We do get birthday parties, and we can handle birthday parties. So we love that if anybody wants to celebrate their interaction with life here, that's what we want.
And again, the Wadsworth people then go to Doylestown and Rittman and Seville, and suddenly West Akron, suddenly you have a larger contingent of people coming here and enjoying themselves. That's what the goal is, right?
Yeah, I've talked to people in Cleveland that are buying gift cards for their workers because they've heard about a Talmadge, Worcester, so Doylestown for sure. So the word's getting around, and we hope it just keeps traveling.
Chef Anthony, it takes a little while to spread that word, but it sounds like it's getting out there. People realizing this is a quality place where you can get some dishes that you haven't got before, and you really be happy about those.
Yeah, you know, like Brian said, word of mouth is huge, and you know, we don't do a ton of advertising. You know, like we said, we do a lot of social media, and we promote ourselves that way. But we want you to promote us. Like, you know, there's no better customer than one that already is coming in with a perception of what to expect. And, you know, from that perspective, for us, it's a customer that, you know, we're not spending advertising dollars on, but that we know we can have the opportunity to make them a long-time customer. And they're coming in because they want to be here, not because I tried to get them in with a coupon, or they're coming in because someone told them they should come here and they believed them. And we got to make them believe that that was worth it, and then they come back, you know, and they tell somebody else. So, you know, that's how word of mouth works. It's the best kind of, especially for what we're doing, you know, a small family-run place. Like, there's no better advertising for us than you talking to somebody else that you think is going to like it.
One last thing you'd like to tell the community, you can look at the mic there and say, try us out, right?
Yeah.
You're here, you know, you have the good wait staff, you have people that you're training, you're going to be right in the middle of it, and people need to come and frequent the View, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, come out and try the experience. You know, it might not be for you, might not be for everybody, but, you know, at the same time, if you're looking for something to be adventurous and try something new, then, you know, it's the place to do it. If you want quality, you don't even have to eat. Just come have a cocktail. I mean, we got some good ones of those too. So, you know, everything we're doing from top to bottom is worth coming in to at least give it a shot. So.
And Bruce, we know we have to perform every day. I tell the team that, I tell guests that. We understand that you know, it has to be the same experience every single time, and the kitchen strives on that. The meals come out hot, fresh every single day, and we do not cut any corners here. We strive to give you the best experience that you're going to get in any restaurant.
Brian, could maybe take you for a last segment, maybe see if there's a little opportunity at the bar to take a look at some of the things you have there?
Definitely.
Okay, all right, we'll be back with the final segment in just a second. Hey, we're back with Brian, and we didn't get exactly your role. Are you kind of out here supervising and making sure people are happy and they get their meals on time?
Yeah, well, you know, I started out in the kitchen when I was 15 and did all my kitchen duties and management, and you know, I wanted to be dressed up and come out and talk to guests, and I, you know, made my way out front, and you know, that's my core. That's what I love to do, is take care of guests. I like to see guests smile. I like to see guests escape their bad days or celebrate their good days in our establishment, and that's you know, from a drink to the food, it's a circle of life here. You know, we all are, you know, team, and we all have our own niche in making sure the experience is great. So yeah, I'm on the floor, I'm visiting, I'm talking, I'm working with the team members. You know, we making drinks all day long. So yeah, we're here organizing and making the whole experience work.
And no 2 days are alike, right? Because it could be really like we had the frigid temperatures. It could be wind chill -10, and then it could be a deluge, you know, flood or something. So no 2 days, the weather and what people are going through, maybe they could just relax. That's what really you're after, putting them in a much better mood.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, you go out to restaurants to celebrate, you go out to restaurants to escape life sometimes. So, and being in the restaurant for 30 years, you know that, and you recognize that, like Chef Anthony said, when you recognize somebody is enjoying their meal, or if somebody's not happy with their meal or their drink. So, you know, it's anticipating the guest needs, making sure that they're happy every step of the way, and escaping and just enjoying life and the view. That's the goal.
It is the well-named, because the View is streets coming together here in Wadsworth, and I just saw the buses go by. School must be out, Brian, and they just went by us. So it's really quite a view, and people do take a look outside and see what they can see.
You know, you could have a drink at the bar and have a nice cocktail or whatever you like. It's a beautiful bar. You can sit here, you can enjoy the snowflakes, you can enjoy the sunset. So, you know, you can get your choice of any top-level bourbon, whiskey, down to a margarita, whatever vodka drink you like, whatever glass of wine. We specialize in a good wine pour. Chef Anthony knows his wines, so he did a very good job of picking the wine list, and you can enjoy anything from a nice frosty cocktail to a nice glass of red wine.
So what has your bartender made here? Looks pretty interesting.
So That's a toasted Utini right there. It's one of our new seasonal drinks, one of my favorites.
Okay.
It has almond flavor into it with our Voodoo vodka, which is local in Medina, and a bit of espresso in there to give it a coffee flavor. It's a nice dessert drink or during a meal drink.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, again, I've learned a lot, and I thank you very much. And you've come a long way in a short period of time. What do you think the future holds for the View?
Well,
hard to predict. You don't have a Ouija board.
We would love to be the staple, one of the staple restaurants that deliver this kind of experience in Wadsworth. We want to be here. Maybe our kids take it over one day. That's the goal. You know, we live in this community. We're all residents of this community. We wanted something like this to be able to dine, and we're fortunate enough to be able to provide that for the residents of Wadsworth.
Brian, thank you very much. I learned a great deal about the View, and Chef Anthony really has his act together. He really knows the business inside and out, doesn't he?
I wouldn't do this with anybody else but Chef Anthony. You know, his food is phenomenal. His chefs are phenomenal back there. You know, I put him up with the top-notch chefs in the area and beyond. You know, I know I'd never have to worry about the food. I just need to worry about the experience on the floor, because Chef Anthony and his team back there are top-notch.
Well, thanks very much for letting us see the View up close and personal, and certainly people should consider coming out for their celebrations, just to come out for a Saturday night, right?
For a quick drink, for a full meal, for our homemade desserts. Our chefs are making homemade desserts that switched with the menu, and you know, we put our heart and soul into this experience, and you could come here for 20 minutes, you can come here for 2 hours.
Thanks for viewing Bruce on the Loose. We'll have a show coming up with the St. Edwards. We're going to do a show about their residents and the activities that they are involved in. Thanks for viewing.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.